This is going to take a little while, but I will work on it as soon as possible. Image 2, browse 0, 0, done. Order, move to bottom, move on up. And then the names. This is PCM first. I'm working on the names, guys, forgive me. This is the Phil Roddy Productions. I think we can color like this, right? I think that looks badass. Let's just go with it. Over here in the left bottom side of Overgrowth, we have the one and only first, our Korean protest player that's currently living in Germany, training with the likes of MC, Hyun, under the supervision of Rice, of course, in Düsseldorf, I believe the team house is, and those guys have been putting up some phenomenal results. Over here on the right top side of the map, we have the $100,000 Protoss himself. SoS doesn't win tournaments very often, but when he does, he will make sure that the first place is $100,000. It is SoS. Both players opening up with a 13 gate, so very economic openings. Of course, when everybody thinks of SoS, it's hard not to think of cheese, because in BlizzCon he was cannon rushing his way through Jaedong and just had a couple of very aggressive builds. IEM Katowice, the $100,000 tournament that he won earlier this year, he kind of cheesed Hero a couple of times in the grand final, and he really got into his mind. But trust me, guys, when I say when you're as good as SoS, you really don't need to cheese. He just cheeses when he thinks it's the best thing to do. And it doesn't even make a lot of sense, because I don't want to be one of those guys who's going to be like, oh my god, SoS's proxy is just so smart, it's just like, it makes so much sense, it's so methodical. It's like, no, it's still a freaking proxy, and you and I could have done that proxy too. But for some reason, these guys are like poker players. They just have a feeling when it's the right thing to do something as crazy as that. And I don't know, that is just a star sense that you either have or do not have. Now this is kind of interesting. Never mind. I was missing a pilot, and I was like, wait a minute first, where's your second pilot? Everything is very standard. As Wes scouts it, he will see that 3 probes are on either a simulator. The same thing is of course happening on the other side of the map. It's a sentry first for SoS, which could mean that he's going into a Stargate. It could also still mean that he wants to go 1 gate fast expand, but that would be really bizarre, and I'm not expecting him to do that. On this map, I think 1 gate Stargate is good. I think 1 gate Twilight is better. That's just me. 1 gate Twilight, the only build it's not very good against is 1 gate fast expand. I think that build is better than 1 gate Twilight. 1 gate fast expand again dies against a lot of other builds, and you still need really good execution to get away with it. So SoS is going 1 gate Twilight. I have said this yesterday when I casted some Siege Enters Hero versus Stardust, I believe it was. I think this is the most solid, legit way to open in PvP. This is the way that you're saying, I will get map presence, I will get map vision, I will be able to put some pressure on you. My build is good against everything and won't die against anything. But the only thing I just said as well, like, I think this is the only opening. If First would follow this up with a robotics facility as soon as possible, and he really needs to get it as soon as possible. I think that this build, 1 gate fast expand into Robo, it gives you a small advantage over Twilight. That doesn't mean that Twilight is bad, because it's still the most solid build overall that will give you the best idea of what's going on. And of course I'm talking about the version with 2 additional gateways and not 3, because the one with 3 extra gateways is all in. Okay, this is really bizarre. First is playing very meta-ish here. I think on a larger map, like let's say you're playing on Nimbus, you're playing on Alta-Team Stronghold, Deathwing even, Deathwing too. I think this is okay. I think on a map like Overgrowth this is really risky, because Blink Stalker openings are so popular. When you open up 1 gate fast expand into a Stargate, you really won't have anything to fight the Blink Stalker straight up. And if I was SoS and I see this, oh my god, how did he not see this yet? SoS, are you like, well, it was harder not to see that Stargate than to actually see it, but he has successfully avoided it. But maybe he just knows because he's SoS, I have no idea. What I do know is that SoS is probably going to wipe in a lot of Stalkers, and he should be able to put some serious pressure on first. Even after the first photon overcharge is done, normally your safety moment is when you have 2 Immortals. Now the robotics facility for first, he still doesn't have one. Just gateway unit, maybe he needs a safety void ray or something, I don't know. If I was SoS, I would wait with my expand. I wouldn't drop it immediately. I would just go crazy on the Stalker count. There is indeed a Void Ray on the way, so the safety Void Ray is in production for first. But there's so much micro potential in these units of SOS, and we all know how good he is. There is an Oracle making his way across the map, and there is not a whole lot at home. He just blinks past the entire army, blinks straight into the main base. He could potentially force out a second photon overcharge here, as these Stalkers will just start focusing on these sentries, and this is what you get. This is the price you pay if you don't make one gauge fast robotics facility. You just can't fight blink Stalkers. He does have the Void Ray now, so that helps out a little bit. SOS lost 2 Stalkers over there in the process, and here is that Oracle. SOS uses photon overcharge immediately. I love first, but I don't think he's going to be able to hang in there. He will have another photon overcharge in 5 to 10 seconds, and he will have 2 Void Rays, but as awesome as Void Rays are against Stalkers, these are SOS Stalkers, man. They blink. To the shadows they run, as I can quote them themselves. I think it's going to be hard for first to just not die here. There's so much more micro potential for SOS, but we'll see. Photon overcharge gets activated immediately. Did he use prismatic alignment? No, he didn't. So that's very good news for first, because now if SOS would decide to blink into the main base, then he could still use prismatic alignment. Wow, SOS really living up to to his name. Gonna add a Dark Shrine. Well, there's already an Oracle on the map, but there is no robotics facility. He is expanding now behind this as well. I know this is a late expand. Actually, it's only 9 minutes 30 seconds. It just feels late for PvP. But I still really like the way that SOS has played it so far. And as soon as Photon Overcharge runs out, that should be that sweet moment where he is going to micro for days. Prismatic Alignment is being used. 1 Void Ray dies immediately, and for now SOS just backs off. So good pick off there. He's going to wait until he can blink again and he can go forward. He's using 2 Zealots now. I think he should make a few more Stalkers, but then soon he can start the ultimate dance. These units from first are pretty far out of position now. This is a kind of a risky move. His natural is exposed. SOS smells it. SOS putting himself in a very awkward position now as well. Blinks towards the main base, gets 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, or 1 Stalker and a Zealot immediately. SOS picks up that Void Ray as well. Okay, first is not dead yet. Does he still have his Oracle? Yes, he does. Does he know about the Dark Shrine? No, he does not. There's still this pylon. Oh my god, there is no detection on this side of the map. The only detection that first currently has is his Oracle. His Oracle is going to town on his middle line. Now he knows that there is a Dark Shrine, so he's rebuilding his Oracle. His Oracle did do quite some economic damage, but so will this Dark Templar. Oracles take a long time to build. And at the same time, SOS is blinking natural as well. And he's playing this so well. Man, I love SOS. How beautiful is this? This is just a clinic of how to punish greedy Protoss builds 101. And yes, of course it was a little cheesy with the Dark Templar follow-up, but this guy just makes good decisions. That's what he does for a living. He's gonna get the Nexus. Still has his Dark Templar in the main base as well. What are you doing, Oracle? You're sleeping on the job. He used Envision, and he did not actually kill the Dark Templars. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Well, this Mother Support is going to die as well. Could have used Photon Overcharge. First is in a world of trouble, to say the least. All our $100,000 Protoss is looking extremely good. There's just a single Oracle on the map. We will almost have energy for Envision, but look at these Dark Templars going ham. Pew pew. Like again, Envision is being used. If he doesn't kill either Dark Templar again, I'm going to scream. It will run for quite a while. Envision is a spell that doesn't really run out quickly. SOS is still doing a really good job of microing his Stalkers as well, but from this point on, it's almost like he's just having fun. He's up 9 workers. He's like a lion, toying with his prey. This Oracle should definitely stay at home. At least both Dark Templars have died. No, what's to say? One of them actually survived. He can be so annoying. SOS could be annoying for days. During all this, of course, SOS slipped up a little bit on the macro department, and now he's getting 4 additional gateways. So he can start producing a lot of units if he wants. Blinks forward, picks up this Oracle as well. That was pretty much the only thing that could have brought first back into this game. If that Oracle would have flown into an exposed mineral line and maybe killed 10-15 workers, that would have been awesome. But SOS says, nope, not today. I want to know what it feels like to win a tournament without $100,000 on the line. This Dark Templar is going ham again in the main base. There is an observer out right now. Actually, his probes did surprisingly well against that Dark Templar. That could have gone a lot worse. SOS just wiped in 2 more Dark Templars. He wipes them in defensively. Because there is no detection over here with this army. It's like, okay, he does have 2 observers. Where's the other one? It's coming, alright. So he will have detection soon. But all that SOS has to do is just kill the observer from first, and then he's going to be more than fine again. It's 46 probes against 23. That is literally double. Often we say he has like double the economy. This time, guys, he has double the economy. It might even be better than double. He's able to saturate all the bases. A couple of hallucinated void arrays are going to be the last trick up first his sleeve, and as cool as it is, I just do not think that this can ever work. There are Blink Stalkers, there are Dark Templars, there's Narcon in the mix, there's Vulcan Overcharge. A couple of Stalkers coming in from behind as well. These Stalkers have been alive since day 1, by the way, of this game. Really cost efficient game by SOS. 3,200 resources lost against 8,524 resources lost. SOS giving us a clinic of how to play PvP. I like this opening. I said it already in the start that I think 1 Gate Twilight is just so solid. But it's not even the 1 Gate Twilight that I love the most. It's more the moment that he realized that first was following this up with a Stargate, which is just a very greedy play. I like the 1 Gate Fast Expand into a Robo, unless you play against 1 Gate Stargate. I know it gets really complicated, but that's just how PvP is. There are a lot of builds that are good against each other. And this build from first, initially, was not even that bad against the opening of SOS. It's just the Stargate as follow-up that makes things very greedy. And on a larger map like Altazim or Nimbus, where you just have to worry about 1 ramp, I think it's a lot easier to get away with it than on a map like Overgrowth, where your natural is kind of wide open. There's not even a ramp, so Stalkers can just walk in. And obviously it looked like SOS was completely dominating first, and in a way it was, but also there's always 2 sides to the story where it's a little bit unfair, because SOS has a lot of micro potential in his army, and First doesn't. The only thing that First can do is just attack move, and then hope that you kill a couple of units because your opponent messes up. Maybe a good force field, or maybe a sneaky counterattack. That's all you can hope for. But in a straight up fight, if he clicks on a unit and that unit blinks back, then his entire army chases that unit and you lose everything else. So you can't really focus if you're first. The only thing you can do, like a true Protoss, attack move on the ground and hope that you kill a couple of units. But SOS is too good, man. If you give him a situation like that, he knows how to work with it. I must say, I think the Dark Templar follow-up is a little bit surprising, but is smart against the guy. I don't think he would have ever gone DTs if this was 1 Gate Fast Expand Robo. But after he realized that he was playing as an Oracle, he's just like, alright, if that's all the only NTI you have, then a Dark Shrine is not even that expensive. I'm just going to try my luck with a couple of Dark Templars, and that is a good start. I want to know what the score is between Masa and Snoot. So I'm going to sneak peek over to the other screen real quick. No updates yet, I believe. Of course, if you guys missed some of the action, to give you guys a brief recap of what happened today. Earlier this morning, we started off with the last matches of the open bracket. Lenok defeated Huck, and Snoot, in a very long series, defeated CG and his hero. So those 2 players qualified for the main event. Then we played out Group A, other than the deciders match. All decided to be tomorrow. That means that 4 players will qualify today, and the other 4 will qualify tomorrow, and then immediately play their quarterfinals afterwards. Tasia won Group A. Some people would say no surprise. Well, that group was with Polt and Zest, and Bunny as well. Bunny will play tomorrow against Zest to determine who's going to be the second player to advance of Group A. Group B just kind of finished up. Yoda won the winner bracket of Group B, so he's advanced to the quarterfinals. I'm kind of happy for Yoda because he played so good recently, and I was really shocked to see him lose in WCS Europe, but that's just me. Sean lost, and Violet and Lenok will play against each other tomorrow, so that's going to be a cool ZVZ for Violet to make it into the quarterfinals, perhaps. Would be great for him, but would also be great for Lenok. And now we are in Group C. And some people are like, hey, what's happening? I heard today the Reckoning was coming to Canada. Where's Flash? Flash is coming. He plays in maybe 90 minutes from now, but for now all of our eyes are on Group C. Masa versus Snoot is currently going on the main stream, and we are doing First versus SOS. Nope, wrong seeders. So here we go. I'm going to update my scoreboard. I'm actually kind of late already, but the good guy SOS decides to not proxy when Roddy needs to update the scoreboard, which I think is very kind of him. So we do it like that, and then we move it to the bottom, and then we move it 1 up. Alrighty, everything looks good to me. If it looks good to you guys, we can go ahead and cast the second game of this PvP series. between our $100,000 Protoss and this SOS. SOS is going up against the red Protoss player who's recently joined a new team together with his bunny. Bunny. Wow. It's been a long day for me. Together with his buddy Yoda. I am not suggesting that he's calling his buddy Yoda bunny. That would be a little bit confusing. But yeah, first joining a new team together with Yoda, and that's awesome news for those guys as they've been living together for a while, so I assume that they're friends, and they're also two awesome Korean players to follow. They've been very friendly. I'll give you guys a small sneak peek behind the scene the last few weeks. Ooh, okay, I should talk about this. I'll talk about my story later. This is really cool. First is going to return the favor to SOS, and he's like, hey, I've heard you like cheesy builds in the past. I've got one for you. The last game, I thought there was a second pylon missing in the main base at first. This time, it truly is missing. It's going down on the other side of the map. This Stargate is so close to this Protoss base, you can almost smell it. SOS can probably smell it, because he smells Stargates. He's going to proxy something as well. It could be Twilight, could be Stargate. I think it will be Stargate, but that's just me. I think if I zoom out, close. If I zoom out as far as I can, the Stargates, they can almost look at each other. It's close, but not that close. Anyways, the mothership, it's very, very possible that this mothership core is going to check it. And if it is, then that's very bad news. Because if SOS scouts this target at first, I think he will chrono boost out, I think he will scout it as SOS. Always scouts everything. Spider sensor tingling. Oh my god, it's a Void Ray! Really? It's the Void Ray build. There was this North American Protoss who used to do this all the time. And I thought it was the cutest thing ever, which didn't really make any sense to me. It is still a little bit tricky, but with the Phoenixes, SOS should be more than fine, as Phoenixes are so good against Void Rays, especially if you get a couple of them. And of course, after scouting it, he should be fine regardless. Is first gonna drop 2 more gateways and go all out, or now after it got scouted, is he gonna give up? So it's all about this. Void Ray and a Stalker actually, man. First has a Stalker in the mix as well. Alright, so Photon Overcharge is not ready yet. Well, if you would be able to unpower this gateway before this Stalker pops, that would be massive, but I think that First is in a lot of trouble. He does pick up the mothership core, that's kind of nice. That means no Photon Overcharge, but that doesn't change the fact that First is going to have to deal with these these Phoenixes from SOS. And Phoenixes are so good in dealing with Void Rays. Even if the Void Ray would win the fight, it just takes so long to win a 1-1 fight. And you know, Void Rays have to choose. Either they deal with the Stalkers or they deal with the Phoenixes. Can be all. Phoenixes have a lot more micro potential again. And besides losing that mothership core, I'd be surprised if if SOS loses a whole lot more here. Very funny to see First do this Void Ray cheese. I haven't seen this cheese in forever. And there is a reason why. it gets hard counted by a couple of builds, and this is pretty much one of them. Phoenix openings are fantastic. If I was this Void Ray, I really wouldn't want to see daylight. And I'm glad that First decided to change his mind. That won't change the fact that First has pretty much nothing at home. He has 3 gateways now, which is 2 more than SOS. So if he warps in 3 Stalkers, he might be fine over here. He should be fine. Actually, that's not true. There's still going to be 3 Stalkers for SOS. Maybe soon 4 Stalkers and 3 Phoenixes. This can actually be game over. There is a chance that the game will just end over here. SOS is going to micro his Stalkers as well. He has Graviton Beam for days because he didn't use these Phoenixes to harass. He's going to lose 1 more Stalker. That's a little bit unfortunate. SOS has lost 2 units in this game. He lost like 10 units in game 1. Didn't really lose all that much. And things look a little dicey, to say the least, for First. He's going to try to warp in a couple of Stalkers 1 more time. Of course, this is the Intel Extreme Masters. You want to fight till the bitter end. First had to win the European qualifier to get here, had to win all the best of 3s, but he did proxy out an Oracle. That's kind of cool. But this Oracle killed 7 probes on the other side of the map, but actually there's no bot. That's kind of cool. But I still don't think it's going to be enough. I guess that's the only bot that I have for you guys. Let's trap a Stalker there as well. When behind, make sure that your proxy Stargate can still proxy out an Oracle. But it won't change the fact that these 4 Phoenixes are alive, and these 4 Phoenixes can shut down this Oracle. They're looking for it. Can't find it. If this Oracle will somehow fly in again and kill a bunch of workers, then First still has a very good chance. Everything he just did, he needs to do it 1 more time. He killed 8 workers. He just needs to do it 1 more time. Phoenixes, I can't believe that they somehow missed this Oracle on the left bottom side of this map. And I don't think SoS is going to take the risk again of moving out before he took care of that Oracle, especially because he didn't rebuild his... Oh wow, how did that happen? That's kind of awkward. This is the only time in life where you ever really want 5 workers on your simulator. But not anymore. After killing that pylon, you probably don't want to do this SoS. 6 on 3. It's a little bit sloppy. SoS has never been a flawless Protoss though. He's very good, and above all, he's very effective. You know, I like to see SoS as like MC 2.0. Just like relentless, tries to win, doesn't really play the most beautiful version of Protoss, but makes it look imbalanced and very, very effective. But he's not flawless. He makes small hiccups here and there, and has a few minor errors. But he's just so damn good in everything else he does that it's sort of okay. It's scary to think that SoS could be a lot better than he actually is. He's always been a unique Protoss as well. There's a lot of unique builds. In this PvP series, he played very standard so far, but PvP is not really the matchup where you want to be too creative. Busting out one crazy build in 3 games is sort of alright. Oracle is gonna fly in again, but only 2 probe kills this time. So if we take a look at the income tab now, it's 20 workers for first against the 25 of SoS. I still think SoS is in an absolutely phenomenal position. He has these 4 Phoenixes, he has 5 Stalkers against 3. Army value is just worth a lot more. First is really doing everything this game. He's getting Blink, now he's also getting Dark Shrine, which I wonder how he thinks that this Dark Shrine is not going to get scouted by these Phoenixes. This seems to be like the most inevitable thing in the world, that this is bound to happen. And now SoS is like, oh, Dark Shrine, that's good. Well, I was already building my robotics facility, but I'll make sure to actually get a couple of observers out as well. There was not enough energy yet for Photon Overcharge, so these Phoenixes can still be annoying, can still go to town. And first is like, alright, I tried. It got scouted, I'll cancel my Dark Shrine. And I think the last thing that First can do in this game, I think if he tries to expand behind this, he will just be too far behind, is try to win it with just Blink Stalkers and somehow hope that he can micro his way out of things. But SoS is doing the exact same thing of a much better economy, so what can you truly do if you're First right now? I would love to say that there is something he can do, but I don't think there is. I think he's pretty much dead. He has 10 probes on his middle line. This just looks very sad. This looks worse than my own economy. Guess the times are hard. Phoenix is gonna fly in as well, use their energy to pick up a couple of these Stalkers, and I think that is pretty much going to be it. SoS has Blink as well. Another really